What are you doing? Is this your first day of nursing school? Or are you just stupid? Your education must have come out of a Cracker Jack box. I don't need your kind of help. Would you please just leave? You don't even know what you're doing. Today, I am going to talk to you about incivility and bullying in the workplace. This disruptive behavior is growing more and more serious every day, affecting the nursing profession. We need to change our behavior, or we and others in our profession will be imprisoned in a life of devaluation, intimidation, and disrespect while in the workplace every day of our lives. The negative relationship between bullying and job satisfaction can be improved by good worker relationships, according to Purpura and Beligan 2015. When stressed in their work environment, nurses may take part in lateral violence to relieve built-up pressure. The healthcare work environment of today brings about tremendous stress that has had an indisputable link to lateral violence, as stated in Topa and Mariano 2013. Bullying, according to Frederick 2014, is defined as any repeated, inappropriate mistreatment of verbal abuse designed to intimidate, diminish, devalue, and disrespect an individual. Uncivil behavior is unbecoming of a professional nurse. This author goes on to say that the nurse who bullies have been characterized as having high levels of self-interest and the need for power in the workplace. The bullying nurses are usually the experienced nurses. When a nurse asks for help and another nurse rolls her eyes or inflicts demeaning, sarcastic comments, gossips about that person, or even refuses to help her, according to Purpura and Blegan, these are all forms of bullying and unprofessional behaviors that should not be tolerated in the nursing profession. However, this uncivil behavior happens every day in hospitals around the world. Characteristics of a bullying culture are lack of teamwork, lack of mutual respect, and having cliques among experienced nurses versus new nurses. Research shows that in Smith et al. 2010, that up to 90% of nurses are impacted by incivility or lateral violence in one form or another. Rosenstein and O'Daniel 2008 has linked disruptive behavior to adverse events, 71% being medical errors, 27% patient mortality, and 18% were witnessed mistakes by another nurse due to disruptive behavior. That alone should be something that we should all look at and encourage to change our behavior because of those mistakes that can happen. According to Griffin and Clark 2014, it is the preoccupation about an uncivil event that takes your attention off the task and leads to increased errors and injuries to our patients. There is also an impact on the organization. 1 in 3 nurses will leave a position because of lateral violence. The estimated annual cost of just the loss of productivity for that one nurse is $12,000. The cost is even higher when you look at figuring in the supervisor that has to supervise that employee for a while, and also if there's any attorneys that come into play, managing that situation through the attorneys. In addition, according to Kavas and Selzak 2015, nurses experience physical issues when exposed to lateral violence. They experience low morale, fatigue, headaches, hypertension, angina, irritability, and impaired relationships when faced with this behavior. Nurses, according to Clark and Kinski 2016, regardless of the setting or positions, nurses have an ethical responsibility to foster healthy workplaces, promote an atmosphere of dignity and respect, and protect patient safety. There is absolutely no logical or sane excuse why this behavior should be allowed to continue. Today is the day that we all must shift our focus to our new priority in the workplace by changing our behavior and end workplace bullying or lateral violence forever. According to Griffin and Clark, 2014, one evidence-based strategy to address incivility and lateral violence is the use of cognitive rehearsal. This technique generally consists of participating in a prepared response dialogue that sends a message that your behavior is not okay. You respond to the uncivil worker privately and respectfully. How many of you have seen the eye roll or heard the criticizing statement from another person and wished you would have said something? One might respond with a sense from, I sense from your facial expression that there may be something you wish to say to me. It is okay for you to speak to me directly. With this type of prepared response dialogue, it helps you respond in a respectful and assertive manner in private to let the individual know that it's not okay to treat you or someone else in that uncivil manner. Another example, when a nurse or coworker spreads rumors or gossips about another person, one might say this: I don't feel right talking about him or her situation when I wasn't there and I don't know the facts. Perhaps the information was taken out of context. I suggest you check it out with him or her. Again, using the cognitive rehearsal responses, you are able to address the bullying behavior in an assertive manner and start to change this behavior and create an atmosphere of care and compassion in the workplace. In conclusion, workplace incivility is a serious matter that continues to worsen in healthcare. Nurses bully for many reasons, but mostly because they have a need for power. Nurses' characteristics of a bullying culture is lack of teamwork, respect, and nurse cliques. Nurses face many consequences when confronted with incivility or lateral violence, like headaches and hypertension. It is important that healthcare professionals are educated on how to recognize when bullying exists. This is the first step in recognizing there needs to be a change. When we all need to ask ourselves, do I participate in bullying? Do I support this kind of behavior in others? And do I intervene if and when I observe it? With a zero tolerance policy that I know a lot of workplaces have, and cognitive rehearsal strategies, together we can change the uncivil behavior and create an atmosphere of respect in the workplace. I urge you to empower yourself and others. Open up the lines of communication among affected individuals and create a workplace of dignity and respect. Again, according to Frederick 2013, bullying should not occur in a profession dedicated to caring and compassion. I urge you to commit to your coworkers and make a change today. Thank you.
Good job. What do you think, son? She did a good job, didn't she?